For this assignment, we're going to be collecting all of our information, all of your information regarding your portfolio pieces and putting them into two separate documents. One document is simply a summary of all your projects that you intend to finish, and the other one actually has visuals. Let's go ahead and open these up. By the way, this might be used in future semesters, so don't be surprised if things have changed slightly. If they change a lot, I'll make a new video. But here we go. I'm going to open up this document, which is the portfolio plan spreadsheet. So this guy should be pretty easy for you to figure out. But in case it's confusing, I'll try and advise you. Basically, as we've discussed in class, but I don't mind repeating a little bit, you've taken, or have taken, at the very least, you've taken digital page layout and graphic arts too. Hopefully, if you're in this class, you've taken advanced Illustrator as well. And you've also taken graphics for illustration, by the way, if you're in this class. Some of you might be taking advanced Illustrator and possibly digital page layout at the same time. Each one of these classes has projects, and that's all that really counts in your portfolio unless we discuss and agree that some other piece can be put in there. But the idea is that you would use these pieces. So if you count down here, there's 5 here in this class, page layout, 3 here, 6, 7, 8 total at this point. Then there's 5 more, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for the Advanced Illustrator class. Graphic Arts 2 has 3, 15, 16, 17. And then digital photography, I'll accept 3 or more photographs. So we're up at 18. So I'm asking, 10 is the minimum and 15 is the maximum. I don't suggest going above that. I'm not going to stop students if they want to, but the idea is to keep the book short and sweet so that employers don't spend forever reading it. So all you do is you put the name of the project here, right? So you're just saying, this is the name of the project. So let's say that this were your advertising flyer. Basically saying this is the first thing that you're going to do, and that falls under print. So I'll put a 1 in there. You'll see it adds up to 1 down here. And then you say, have you finished it? Are you updating it? Or are you creating it for the first time? So let's say, for example, you are taking digital page layout, or you lost the file. We'll put that under creating. And that's the convention. You just kind of keep going that direction. That's what you're going to be doing. In case on the video this doesn't show up, I'll get a little closer. Down here at the bottom, let's say that you're like the movie poster from graphic arts. So I'll type in movie poster. Then over here, that's going to fall under what category? There could be some confusing about this. This is really a print graphic, so let's do that. And let's say you're done, so you'll say finished. So what this does for me is it allows me, your instructor, to have an ironclad plan and know that this is what you're doing. So the idea is that you're not supposed to change any of this, at least not without permission. So I've had students, just to warn you, and you'll lose points for this, but they'll fill this out. They won't finish creating stuff. They'll pop other projects in there that were never projects or never agreed upon, and that will hurt their grade. So this plan is supposed to be locked in, and it's also supposed to be something you can refer to know what you have left to do before finishing your book. Of course, I've stated this, I'll state this in class, but in case you're taking this online, just to clarify this point, if you passed any one of these advanced classes, I'll accept any of these projects as long as they're finished. I'll accept them, and I won't ask you to make any updates to them. Be happy to help you if you want to make updates to them, but I'm not going to require it. You pass the class, you have the project. That's all you need. I do suggest you make changes if you're unhappy with it, but I'm not going to go back and critique those projects all over again and make you redo anything unless I happen to know that you're not even close to meeting the criteria. I suppose that would be a situation where I'd have to change my mind on that, because there is a chance that that could happen. Maybe one of the projects you did very poorly on, it's barely finished, I'm probably going to say something. But for the most part, I don't plan on saying anything. So that's how this works. I'll just take a look at this and look at the tallies down here. And I'm looking for a nice variety of illustration, photography, web, and screen. And for finished updating and creating, it's not about variety, it's just about awareness. You determine what's finished as long as you finish the project in another class. If you decide to update it, I just want to know. Which leads us to the next thing, which is the portfolio piece template. So this is going to open up InDesign, which might take my computer a second. While it's loading, the InDesign document is somewhat irrelevant. Basically, it's a document that just shows me visuals. I want to see what is finished, what you're calling finished, and I want to see what you're updating. Obviously, I can't see what you're creating because it has not been created yet. But that's all it is. You're just simply going to... And I created a template a few years back that you can insert things into. Or you could do it a different way. I just need it to be labeled as... I did a graphic. I need to see each of your graphics and to label them finished and or... actually not and or, but or being updated. And that's what this document does. It's just a template for that. On the first page, you can kind of summarize your point. Wow, this is opening up like a ton of stuff. Awkward. Still not going to delete it. Just going to let it go. Really, you don't have to see the document. You should know how to use Word. I mean, I meant to say InDesign. I guess I said Word because the fact that if you wanted to, you could potentially use Word, because I'm not being super uptight about this. I'm not printing this. It doesn't need to be high resolution. This page, finished page, you can insert one example per page or the unfinished. If you want to add pages, all you have to do is go over here and just keep adding them. So I'll just duplicate this page. Just like that. Well, not page 1, but page 2. Make a duplicate of it. Duplicate. There you have it. Get the idea. All right, so that's pretty much what you're supposed to be doing for this week. And after this is done, I'll take a look at this and we'll agree to this being the plan, and then you can kind of get started. All right. Contact me if you have any questions.